Well, let's talk about Antonio Conte then, from one manager to another. Just celebrated his 1-year anniversary with Spurs a couple of days ago. If you were to compare where he took Spurs to where they are now, objectively, it's a massive positive where they are, going through the Champions League group stages, where they are in the Premier League table. The goals they've scored, they've conceded less as well. Objectively, that might be the case. But it almost seems like there is still a bit of grumbling within that Spurs side. Is that fair to assume? It's almost as though it's not all a bed of roses.
I'm a firm believer when you have one of the world's best managers. I'm a firm believer in trying to keep him there and trying to build on continuity, trying to keep him there and allow him to build on the squad that they already have. Now, when you deal with Daniel Levy and the board, you have to deal within their financial parameters. But there are some outstanding players across the globe that you can bring in. So, if I'm putting my Tottenham hat on right now, I hope they keep Antonio Conte for a long time. I hope Antonio Conte wants to stay there for a long time. I think if you stick by one of the top managers, even through some of the down times, and you can stop him from wanting to leave as well, the club will be better for it. So I really hope that is what happens because Conte is one of the very best that's out there. Let him build the team. Let him build the squad. I do think if you look at the year anniversary, things are good. Things are solid. They have a lot of really good players.
Do you think Conte is happy though, Brad? Do you think he's happy? Because people are wondering, why has he not signed the contract? I'm sure a lot of fans would feel a lot more pleased if he was fully committed to the club on a longer term.
I don't know if he's happy. I really don't. What I'm saying is they have one of the world's best managers there. Try to keep him there. Get continuity in the club. Don't change head coaches a lot, especially when you have one of the very best. You can see, look at the second half. They go down a goal and the players are playing for him. They're playing for him. They're playing for the squad. They're playing for the club. So I think they have to try to build on that if they can. And I hope he signs a new contract as a Tottenham, as an ex-Tottenham player.
And Michelle, as well, I want to make a point that it's true that obviously as Tottenham fans, they will want to obviously him to commit himself to the future, but as well, it's not that he's an unconvinced, but other managers could say, okay, I signed 3-4 years contract, then if it's not good enough for me or it doesn't go well, they can sack me, I get the money. He's not doing that. You know what I mean? So he's thinking in him about what he can really believe he can do at Tottenham. And maybe the club doesn't have the same mindset that he does. I believe they do, don't get me wrong, but I think it's good and bad. I think it's good because at the same time it's like, okay, I'm not in a long term, but because I don't want to commit myself to something that maybe in the summer they say they're going to sign players that they don't, and then I have a contract and they have to break it and pay me, you know? And I'd rather to don't commit myself yet and just wait and see if the club are in the same direction as I am. You know, I think it's a good point from Conte. If I'm sure if Conte, they give the money, not the money that he wants, but more or less look, Perisic was a free transfer. So he's not like he's asking for players of 100 million, 80 million. So he's just asking for the players that they play his kind of style. And I'm sure if Tottenham let him this place, you know, let him do that, I'm sure he will extend his contract.
But it's almost like a power play as well. Okay, so Jose, you were saying that Antonio Conte is waiting to see if the board or Daniel Levy would commit to what he wants with new players, with summer transfers. But then on Daniel Levy's perspective, he's thinking, well, if you don't deliver for me, I'm not going to sign up for you. If you're not convinced with the club and our plans, I'm not going to get the players for you. Where does the power lie? Is the power lying more on Antonio Conte or Daniel Levy at the moment?
The power always lies with Daniel Levy. That's how Tottenham is run. It does. I just hope that they can work together to try to formulate a long bond and a consistent bond for the betterment of the club, because he's one of the world's best managers.
Yeah.
Jose?
Yeah, I completely agree. I think the power is one of the few clubs that the power is actually on the owner, because a lot of owners right now in the Premier League, yeah, they buy the clubs, but they put people to really carry the club. Levy actually, he cares about the club. He's a Tottenham fan. He supports the club. He wants the best for the club. You know, so obviously he's always thinking to improve the squad. He did with the training ground, the stadium, you know, as well. The players, keeping Harry Kane when he could have sold him for 150 million, 160 million. He kept him, you know, so obviously, I believe that at the end, he is the boss, but he has to understand as well that if you want a manager like Conte, you have to rise to a point. There has to be something in the middle. That you have to maybe listen to him, but Conte as well has to understand that he's not the owner, that the owner is the one who's putting the money. So it's like Brad said, they need to arrive to a point in the middle. And if they do, I really believe it will be beneficial for both sides because Conte is, like Brad just mentioned, is a top manager.